Hey guys, what's up? Let me just quickly go through what it was like to go to the first day at the Berlin Film Festival. I had heard that it was extremely cold.
It's okay. It's quite cold, but
you'll survive. I mean, it's fucking phenomenal just being here. So I spent the whole day. I got my badge. Very excited. So this is basically what it looks like. That's kind of like, yeah, I think the regular pass. And then this one is kind of the producer's pass. You get this fancy, lovely Berlinale or Berlinale. And then this one, Lights in the Dark, and it's advertising for Norwegian film. And this, it's 10% for 50-50. So I was already walking around with my 50-50 equal representation for actresses. To start it off, Norway is a rich country that loves to invest in film and has tons of facilities and tax rebate. We had people from Women in Film, so WIF, and then there's also the Women in Film and Television International, which is WIFT. There's the two women from Sweden, this initiative called 10% for 50-50. That means that if you're a producer and you obviously want to get your production costs down, you can actually go onto their website. So once you go in there, you get to see tons of different companies that have signed up to give 10% off from their services, being like in post-production, sound, editing.
That everything is decided based on the bottom line, based on how you can get the lowest budget possible. And if you have 10% from a number of companies, that really adds up.
All you have to do in order to be eligible for that 10% off is also you get points for having people of color and also part of the LGBTQIA+. One of the quotes that I remember from the talk was, it may take years or decades to change the world, but you can change the film industry overnight. So, and I'd love to believe that that is possible. It's really inspiring to know that so many companies have signed up to already help. And the good thing is that it's not just women saying like, yes, like we have to lead this change. Actually, there's this guy who was saying, actually, I think it just makes sense. Like, if we want to have a better product, we need tons of different minds, diverse minds, spirits, souls, like opinions, so that we can foolproof, you know, our product and make it more exciting. Did a talk, and what he said was that they actually have really good effect while using the quotas. And I know that some people don't like quotas, some people do. But what he was saying is that because of putting the quotas, they finally reached a 51% of women in key positions in the filmmaking industry. He also noted that if Norway were to take away the quotas, the situation would reverse. And Norway has been voted as the country in focus. So it's just so, honestly, I was in constant goosebumps and like teary-eyed. Like I think I don't know why, but maybe it's because I'm, you know, coming from I grew up in a third world country, and so you see racism, yes, and also chauvinism in your day-to-day, and it's something that's sort of ingrained into what you expect your life experience to be like. So to be able to see so many people, male, female, on board into actually making a change, it's the most exciting, exhilarating experience that I have lived in my life, in the industry that I love, because it can be so hard sometimes, but that's another story. Anywho, I think the paper falling is like the dramatic representation of sometimes you know, working in the film industry can be hard. I know that it's just a lot of hard work like any other industry. And the beauty is that you get to work in art, because obviously most film pieces are a work of art. There's also in Europe something called Alliance of Women Network in Europe. We got the privilege of listening to Naomi Sesay, who is the person responsible for diversity in Channel 4.
Big motivations as well as ambitions to become, you know, one of the most diverse broadcasters in Europe, and simply because we want to reflect Britain.
And it was super exciting. There's tons of like different programs that I wrote down that I really want to check them out, like Drag Lab and Chimerica, sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right, or the Three Identical Strangers. Just to wrap it up, I also attended a talk supporting Indigenous films and Indigenous stories and Indigenous filmmaking, and I think maybe coming from Peru, but that's something that it's genuinely super exciting. What is really interesting is that in terms of film festivals, Indigenous stories tend to do really well, and yet there's the issue of getting them to distribution. Some people in distribution think, you know, oh, because that's a Native American film, or that's a Quechua or Aymara, that it's only going to be viewed by those people, but actually, because they're human stories, they can be they are very popular around the world.